Tomorrow in New York City, the United Nations General Assembly will meet, marking 80 years since its creation. However, there won't be time for celebrating as wars, hunger, and emergent technologies all demand urgent attention. So what will be the top priorities for world leaders at this year's United Nations gathering? Joining us now is Alex Tarascio, political strategist and pollster at Cygnal. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So world leaders are meeting at the UN during simultaneous wars in Gaza and Ukraine. How does this moment compare to other periods in global instability in the UN's 80-year history? And what might be accomplished this week?
Well, one thing that's already been accomplished for people who want to see peace in the Israel-Gaza conflict is that the UK, Canada, and Australia each announced that they would recognize Palestinian statehood. That's a pretty big deliverable. A lot of the pro-Palestinian voices out there are pretty happy today, although the conflict rages on. And whether this will actually change things, I don't think that most people believe that it will. Benjamin Netanyahu is expected to come on the General Assembly to give a speech that this won't change anything. He's already given out statements to that effect. And so when the United States isn't on board with ending the conflict, that's really fundamentally the main obstacle to having a solution there. And right now, the U.S. isn't seeing what it needs to see for that to end.
Now, in his first interview, Pope Leo XIV says that the UN has lost its ability to bring nations together. Do you agree? And what does that mean for the future of multilateral diplomacy?
I disagree insofar that I don't think the UN ever quite had the ability to do that. The United Nations is a forum for countries to gather that disagree. That's a good thing. It should do that. But its fundamental design is to not have action because the Security Council is set up of rivals. United States, Russia, and China oppose each other on many, many different things. And so the default is inaction. It's still good to speak. It's still good to have conversation. But I only quibble with Pope Leo that we shouldn't have quite such lofty aspirations for the UN.
Now, switching gears a little bit, over 200 experts are demanding binding measures to regulate artificial intelligence. How realistic is it for world leaders to reach a consensus on such urgent technology issues?
I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but if the United States opposes it, and it absolutely will vociferously, the Trump administration, J.D. Vance, they've been on the record loudly saying that they oppose this kind of regulation, then there will definitely not be a consensus. And there shouldn't be, because the experts don't know what is best in artificial intelligence. They can't envision a world that we now live in where we can have reliable AI that didn't exist before. So I think it would be a real shame if this got regulated before we really got to see it actually exist.
Alex, thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.